All right, and welcome back for another chapter of the experiment that's both revolutionizing and potentially destroying the wrestling business. This is the Smart Mark Time Machine. My name's Ian, and where we left things off, we we quantum leaped into 2002, late 2002, and ensured that Batista never ended up in Evolution, and instead we kept Mark Jindrak there, the original plan for Evolution, and what would be the fallout from such a shift. And as it turns out, the fallout has not been small. Without Batista and Orton as a unit, it seems like that next generation element of Evolution sort of floundered, and instead of rather being a way to create two future stars, what we've seen play out is we've seen it play out that it was actually a way to get Ric Flair over, and Ric Flair turned on the group rather than staying by Triple H's side as they oust members one at a time. So Ric Flair was the first to break away with the babyface turn, and then shortly after Triple H, we saw Batista on the SmackDown brand. Flounders may be too strong of a word, but definitely be limited in a tag team with the big boss man called Two Aces, and be stuck in a lot of six-man tags. An eerie amount of six-man tags, actually, that I'm not sure we've really fully understood yet. Then we see Batista and Boss Man, I guess, jump to Raw, and we see Evolution as we know it, Randy Orton and Mark Jindrak jump to SmackDown before Triple H makes a babyface turn and leaves in kind. So Evolution isn't even a stable anymore. It is a tag team of Randy Orton, who seems to be actually be on an upward trajectory, doing fairly well. He is challenged for, if not been, the United States champion. And then we have Mark Jindrak, who's kind of there on the side for whenever Randy's not doing anything. We'll sort of pair them up. Kind of similar, not nearly as effective, but if you remember the vitamin C days of Chris Jericho and Christian, where Jericho and Christian teamed up when there was nothing else for them to do, and Christian very much was an afterthought at that time. And so when Jericho was busy, Christian had very little to do. And then when Jericho wasn't busy, then all of a sudden Christian had some work to do. It feels weird to refer to it like that, but how much of an afterthought he was. Now, this isn't Orton and Jindrak. Orton and Jindrak are a level below that, but still. So really, both sides of Evolution, of the Evolution switch, are stalled, if not floundering. And as a result, we sit here kind of having broken Evolution and the impact it was supposed to have on the industry. So that's where we're going to pick things up right here. The question was, what happens if Batista is never in Evolution? What happens as far as two men, Batista at least, who would pretty much have a main event push throughout the SmackDown brand for the first half of the first decade of the 21st century? What happens when the animal is tame? What happens if the animal is caged, not by a cell perhaps, but by his own lack of opportunity? And that's where we're going today. Today we are going to go through 2005, 2006. This is the Smart Mark Time Machine. What happens if Batista was never in Evolution? Let's hit that intro and have some fun. All right, so just a quick starting point to refresh where we are at. Let's just take a look. We're going to focus a little bit heavier on the WWE side of things, maybe a little less jumping around to the other companies. We'll do it once a year maybe, but that's about it. Let's keep in mind really the big sort of situations here. So we've got Jericho with a WWE title. The big gold belt is with Brock Lesnar on the Raw brand. I know it feels wrong to say that. The Intercontinental belt is with Goldust, very Attitude Era-y. The United States title is with Randy Orton. There we are. So he is the U.S. champion as we start this. Then we're going to take a look at the tag teams. I I'm trying to remember. But the SmackDown tag titles, Chief Morley and Billy Gunn. The Raw tag titles, the Dudley Boys, which feels quite right. Just another reminder, folks, when we get to the actual match cards, there's no need for an apostrophe in Dudley Boys. Plurals don't need apostrophes. This has been your grammar check, your grammar slam of the day. Cruiserweight champion Chavo Guerrero and the women's champion Molly Holly. That's where we're starting things off here, January 1st, 2005. Our first jump is going to be to the Royal Rumble. So remember, this is the Royal Rumble for WrestleMania 21. As such, Batista should be winning this if we go back to the prime timeline, what we're familiar with. That is what happens. We've got Randy Orton should be getting ready for a match with The Undertaker. We've got Batista should be winning the Royal Rumble and facing Triple H at Mania. And Jindrak, I think, is pretty much an afterthought. So we're going to go ahead and jump to see how the Royal Rumble brings us. Does it change anything? We got Orton doing single stuff. So Orton's right on the timeline. He's not the IC champ as he would be in the prime timeline. But that would be WrestleMania 20. For WrestleMania 21, like I said, yes, he'd had that first failed world championship run. So he's already behind at this point. And now he needs to be making the move towards the Undertaker feud. So really a main eventer at that point. He's on the path. He's the one of the three young lions we've looked at. He's the one who's furthest ahead. Let's take a look and see where we are at the Rumble. Check you in a second. All right, so this can be a bit weird because I didn't hit record on the audio when I was doing this, I guess, the first time around. So it's been a long time, but let's take a look at the Royal Rumble, shall we? So we can see, hopefully my cursor is going to show me what I was talking about, that we're looking for the members Randy Orton and Mark Jindrak. There we are. They are in a throwaway six-man tag with Ernest Miller over Spike Dudley, Maven, and Finley. It's not a great score to a 67. So floundering in the mid-card, you would expect more than this as we go through. So not really the heights that we're talking about when we're looking at. This is the Rumble that Batista's supposed to win. Chris Jericho defeats Chief Morley in a tables match for the WWE heavyweight title. So we are in the darkest timeline. Not Jericho. I've always been a big Jericho guy. I was at All In here in the UK, Canadian flag in hand, cheering on, singing my lungs out to Judas. But Chief Morley as a main eventer is a scary thing. And The Undertaker, instead, wins the Rumble. And Bubba Ray Dudley wins a win, extra bonus 15 wrestler Rumble. I don't know if that's going to determine the other brand there, but we have The Undertaker going the distance in the Royal Rumble. As we just look through to see who's all there, I'm taking a quick look, and this is really difficult to do after the fact. And I don't see any of our boys, so to speak. So, yeah, Evolution's not a mystery. Evolution is I'm trying to think of something pithy to say on the back side of this. But no, Evolution is a fallacy. Oh, that's good. That's better. So, yeah, unfortunately, neither of Randy Orton or Mark Jindrak or even Batista are turning out that well on this side. We can see that WWE is losing their spot on Sky Television in I guess that'd be the UK. But we see that WWE is apparently ready to bolster the roster with some incoming superstars. I don't really know who's out there, but let's take a look at the WWE overall, and we can see who the champions are. Shannon Moore with the Cruiserweight, but the big one, Chris Jericho, as the heavyweight champion. The big gold belt is with Brock Lesnar. Goldust with the IC strap. Randy Orton with the U.S. title. So why is he in these six-mans? Chief Morley and Billy Gunn are with one tag team, but Dudley's are with the other. Molly Holly with one of the women's belts. It's the only women's belt at this time in 2005. So as we go through, we're just taking a look at where some of our main players may be. We're back into WWE. This is the ultimate game of guess what you were thinking. We're looking at Jericho. Obviously, still something's not fully right. What are we looking for here? Batista. Batista, and we see he's got a cold momentum. He's on Raw, but he's an afterthought. And we can see that in January, he's mainly sticking to heat. Yeah, he was in that 15-man Battle Royal with Bubba Ray Dudley, which maybe was Raw specific. But, yeah, if you can only get on a couple of Sunday night heats, the main event is not calling your name. And he's 35. I mean, time's ticking away, as opposed to someone who doesn't need to be as affected, which would be Randy Orton. I don't know if we're headed back in to look for Randy Orton right now. It'd be great if we were. No, Mark Jindrak first. Unimportant by the fans. He's on SmackDown with an adequate gimmick, but with cooled down momentum. His popularity is middling would be a compliment. He's not where he needs to be in America, especially. It was too much too soon. But we do see he's on SmackDown every week, mainly because he is hanging out with Randy Orton in this Evolution tag team. Although he did the one weird one there with Matt Hardy and Tajiri as a 6-man tag. So he's just making up the numbers. He's a guy. Not really what Evolution was supposed to be about. Not particularly. I just saw there's a spelling error on Finkel. I don't know if I've mentioned that in the previous video, but hey, it's been a minute, as the kids would say. Are we going to go look at Randy? I don't know. No, we're going to look at tag teams instead. So let's look at this is where Batista hangs out with two aces with the Big Boss Man. They're still a thing. Where are we going now? We're in the free agents. Am I realizing we're in the free agents? BG James. Oh, there it is. Is he unemployed? No, he's employed by the WWE. We can see his popularity is more at 50. So, Boss Man at 40. I mean, I guess he'd have the popularity, wouldn't he, from his golden era run? He's got notoriety. He's got something more than he has right now. That's for sure. So, yeah, sitting back after all this time, I realized I really enjoyed this series. It's just really labor heavy on the computer to do it because it takes forever to simulate. That's the downside of this. All right, and so now we're back here at WrestleMania 21. This is supposed to be Orton versus Taker. This is supposed to be Batista versus Triple H. So we can see from here the card as it's supposed to be. Batista beating Triple H. Cena's Ascension. We're all supposed to see The Undertaker with that giant. I mean, I think this establishes Randy Orton as a main eventer more than even beating Chris Benoit did. And I was in the house when Orton beats Chris Benoit in Toronto. So, I can speak a little bit to that. And so here we are. Here's the WrestleMania 21 we get. And we see that Randy Orton defeated Shelton Benjamin in a pre-show match. Was the title on the line? No, I don't think it was. That's unfortunate. Let's look at some of the people who get on there instead. We have a 6-man tag with Rikishi, Rey Mysterio, and Billy Gunn over Chavo, Raven, and Jamie Noble. That's more important than your U.S. title. Lita Victoria over Trish Stratus and Nydia. Hey, WrestleMania, that's all right. Sharpshooters, whoever they are, defeated the Dudleys. Apostrophe not necessary for the tag team titles. Got to figure who the Sharpshooters are. If it's not Lance Storm, I riot. Hulk Hogan and Tajiri defeat Steve Austin and Ric Flair. Wow. If that's a Hollywood tie-in, I'll take it, but that's surprising. Regal over Shawn Michaels, and what a match. What an absolute match is what my cursor must be telling me. Kane and Rob Van Dam, that's actually an era-specific thing that could have worked at that time. Goldust defeats Jeff Hardy to retain the IC title in a heck of a match. 59,000 in attendance at WrestleMania 21. But it was held in the Northwest, not held in LA in this universe. So, Chris Benoit defeats Booker T to a perfect match score. No title needed. Just throw them in the ring. That's that chemistry, I suppose. Kurt Angle defeats The Undertaker. I don't know what to say. I mean, there's a joke about, come on, can you not bring your A game? 99 out of 100. And again, another, so Angle gets the spot that was typically in our sacred timeline, if you will. Brock Lesnar defeats Triple H by DQ in a title. That's going to go over well, but it's not the main event. The main event is John Cena defeats Chris Jericho for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. So John Cena still gets there by hook or by crook. It wasn't JBL. It was Chris Jericho. And actually, if it's for my money, isn't that just a little bit better? Now, this is still confused Chris Jericho. He hasn't found his niche yet between the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla and the slow-talking Anton Chigurh-inspired individual he would be. But Jericho, look at that. He's popped them with a new move at WrestleMania. That sounds like a pretty good show, irrespective of the focus we were running for. So, we also get Rikishi getting some buzz, the match of the year, Benoit over Booker T. The new champions, though, am I going to click that? There we are. The Sharpshooters. It's got Rhino. I don't know who his partner is. Hopefully we're going to find out. Jackie Gate is still the OVW Women's Champion. If you haven't had a chance to do it, go check out Wrestlers on Netflix. And AJ Styles is moving up the ranks, and that's nice to see. That's the point of things like this. At some point, we'll be jumping ahead to the next status. But let's see who these tag team champions are, shall we? Because we got Taker winning, some rumbles here. But what are we looking for here? We got Matt Hardy, the Cruiserweight champion, 3-time. So that's changed, I believe. Yeah, Shannon Moore had it before that. So we've moved since then. Molly Holly still the women's champion. That stayed the same. She had it for a while, but she's not defending it. The last defense was August 2003. You may as well retire the belt. Which would be a shame. The Intercontinental Champion is Goldust. Funaki is our United States Champion. So I apologize for what I said about the WrestleMania card. Funaki beats Randy Orton in January, just before. No, sorry, he beats him at No Way Out. Wow. Well, he is SmackDown's number one announcer, I'll have you know. Brock Lesnar with the big gold belt, and Cena beats Jericho. At WrestleMania. Here we go. His time is up. His time is now. I can see that. Can you see that? So Brock and Cena, that's a world. So what we've also had is in this world, here's the Sharpshooters, Rhino and Tommy Dreamer. Ouch. So ECW beat ECW for the WWE Tag Team titles. Excellent. So as an unpredicted fallout of this, Batista and Orton don't elevate, but Brock's still here. That's interesting. I saw something off to the side that said Shawn Michaels leaves WWE. I wonder if we're going to come back to that. There we are, Canyon and the Sharpshooters. We see what they've been doing later. They've been a heat tag team, and they're now the tag team champions. I swear I saw something that said Shawn Michaels has left WWE. Batista, for what it's worth, I wonder if we'll get to the PWI. You can see his ranking to the side there. It's not horrendous, but he's worse than Doug Basham. He's worse than Mark Jindrak. What? Oh, Batista needs a rub. Oh, well, there you go. Look at that. Evolution as the tag team have made their way into a regular spot on SmackDown. So, and the Funaki feud with Orton continues. So there's something there. He's still sitting in the high 30s. As opposed to Randy Orton, who's in the low 60s. Like, Randy Orton is definitely being dragged down by his association with Mark Jindrak. Could we say Hunter was right? I think we could say Hunter was right. Oh, he deserves better than being in a pre-show match at Mania. John Cena, on the other hand, look at that popularity in the 80s. in the 80s, all over North America, well, in the States and Quebec. So there we are. Considered a major star. We're just taking a look at where he is there. He's doing well, isn't he? I don't know if I'm more happy when things line up with the way they're supposed to be, or if I'm more happy when they take extreme. Yeah, Shawn Michaels leaves WWE. It's right there. Did I see AJ Styles hired by WWE? So in a minute, we're going to jump ahead, I think, to SummerSlam. We'll see what happens. Oh, this is SummerSlam. All right, so this is SummerSlam is it supposed to land on. So here's what we're expecting. Hogan and Michaels, that can't happen. Batista and JBL for the title. Cena and Jericho. Okay, so we got that at Mania instead. Orton continues with The Undertaker. So this is more or less what we're looking for. Where are we going to land instead? You can see there's some key matchups here. And here we go with SummerSlam. SummerSlam is I saw the biggest match in history, I think, in the main event. But let's take a look and see if we can find our boys at the bottom of the card here. 3-minute warning defeated two aces. So there's Batista getting on the pre-show card. Looking for interviews. I don't see anything going on there. Spike Dudley meeting Chris Nowinski gets on the main card, but Batista can't get a taste of the big show. Not that big show, but a big show nonetheless. Let's look at some other matches here, shall we? Tajiri defeats Rico. Rikishi defeats Chavo Guerrero by DQ. I mean, this is looking pretty. I mean, that gets an 85. How over is Rikishi still? Or is this just the product? You know, the pre-show match with two aces and 3-minute warning, is in the 70s at least. I loved 3-minute warning. I loved 3-minute warning. If they could have found a way to have made that packaging remain, I would have been really, really happy. Yeah, there's the Finkel spelling mistake. I noticed it back then. I'm noticing it again. Rob Van Dam defeats A-Train for my money. Let me be the old guy in the room. Howard Finkel. It's not even close. The best announcer of all time. The best ring announcer of all time. Full stop. Testing the Dudleys defeated Shimmer in the real main event. Don't know what that means. Edge and Christian defeated the Hollies by DQ. Edge and Christian are back together. Are they the champions now? It's for the titles. Ooh, booking would suggest the Hollies are the champs, but we'll see. We'll see. The Platoon, Chris Jericho and Randy Orton. There we go. Is that the new... Look at that. Defeated the Centuries, Eddie Guerrero and Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match. Up towards the top of the card. Look at who Randy Orton is now rubbing shoulders with. And getting a 99 out of it. Like this, that hopefully means the end of the Martin Jindrak pairing. So, Undertaker defeats William Regal. Oh, that's great. To make that even feels hard, but obviously it worked out. Chris Angle defeats Chris Benoit. Were there two guys with better chemistry? I don't know. And Cena defeats Hogan in a Hell in a Cell match. I'm not sure the work rate, as you can see, is going to be great, but man, is the star power going to do it. You'd think. So John Cena this is the passing of a torch. This is WrestleMania 28, come 7 years early. This is... John Cena is the face that runs the place. So, interesting to just see maybe Orton's on his way up. But, man, it's interesting how that's kind of gone that way. There's a referee who's going to debut. Woohoo. Or, extend his contract. That's good. It's important to lock those guys down. As we go towards the, I think All Japan Wrestling just left the chat. I don't see it. Ooh. Batista, low 50s, cold momentum. But he's doing all right, isn't he? He's getting on Raw. It's with his stupid tag team. We need to do for Batista what we've done for Randy Orton. We need to get him off the guy they got him with. We need to get him off of teaming with Bossman. And we need to get him somewhere higher up. Because this isn't where we want him to be. Mark Jindrak, hey, he's hit 40s. It's improving, but now he doesn't have Orton, it would look like. So it would look like, here we go. Hang on. No, he's still He's getting some singles matches, and he's scraping on the Raw, but he's also part of this Evolution tag team still. But as we saw, Orton's also with Jericho. So, but he's fairly regularly on Raw, even if it's jobbing. To Rico, to Rob Van Dam, to Hardcore Holly. He beat B Squared, for what it's worth. If you never B Squared, give us hey, in the comments, what's your favorite B Squared match? I'll wait. Randy Orton, high 60s, a member of the Platoon. Now, is that a stable rather than a tag team? I don't know. But he's moving on up, as they would say. Let's look at Slick Rick. We haven't talked much about him. Hey, he's just as much a part of Evolution as everybody else. Popularity off the charts. Randy Orton, though, says on the most recent PWI, he was number 40 in the world, as opposed to Triple H. Look at that picture. Oh, what a great picture. I remember the Centuries. He's got himself a new stable, it would look like. And he's got 90s everywhere as well. So that's Triple H ain't gone anywhere. Hasn't broken him. Quickly taking a look. Christian's got an extension. Tommy Dreamer's got an extension. The Platoon, here we go. Jericho is the leader with Tajiri, Michael Hayes, Chavo Guerrero, and Randy Orton in his group. The ring crew of the Centuries, here we go. Triple H, Eddie Guerrero, Billy Kidman, Tommy Dreamer. That's interesting. Tommy Dreamer, but not Rhino. So that seems foolish. But man, Triple H and Eddie Guerrero is your deputy. There's legs there. He might have found himself, I'd say Evolution, but he's found himself something interesting. That's for sure. That's for sure. I don't know why you don't put Rhino in that number 5 spot. Because they're tag team champs. It just feels like that's like maybe someone's overthinking something. If we look at the tag teams, yeah, Jindrak and Orton are still a tag. This is weird. Now's the time you go ahead and you throw the booking to sort of show, you make Randy Orton choose who his friends are, and you can have Orton go heel, you can have Orton go face. All right, and now we've moved to Survivor Series, and we're seeing where the chips have fallen, where they may. Taking a look at the pre-show, I don't see the usual suspects there, so I'm scrolling with my eyes up anyway and seeing where we've landed. You got Rhino beating Bill DeMott. Does that mean their tag team's over? Don't know. Nathan Jones defeated Al Snow. Shane McMahon and Matt Hardy defeated 3-minute warning in a cell match for the tag titles. Shannon Moore and Matt Hardy, tag team champions. I'll take that. Billy Gunn defeated Chief Morley in a tables match for the U.S. title. Yeah, if you're gonna use Chief Morley somewhere, that's the level he needs to be at. A corporate stooge who's the U.S. champion. That's okay. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think Val Venus was anything to write home about, but I didn't think he was. He was bad. That's not bad there. I'm waving my icon over Hardcore Holly and Raven. I'm guessing playing catch up here. Lita defeated Victoria in the middle of the card match. Hey, it's nice to see there's a women's match there, but it's not just for the title. Hopefully there's another one as we move further up. I don't know. We've got interviews with Hogan. We got interviews with Cena. We got interviews with Rob Van Dam. Look at the speaking levels on those 3 ratings. 91, 87, 65. Something's not gone right with Rob Van Dam. Who knows what past me was yakking about, because I would have scrolled up by now. But thank you for sticking around. If you're still with me here, what else should we do? I think this is, you're going to see I've got a couple ideas for other things. Oh, there we go. Rey Mysterio defeating Randy Orton. But hey, it's not a great match rating per se. But look, that's a feature spot. That's absolutely a feature spot. Against Rey, take that all day long. He's not where he was with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 21. But he's on the trajectory that maybe it's not all gone. And he got a backstage segment, and it wasn't. He's better than Michael Cole is. Let's put it that way. Tommy Dreamer that at least defeated A-Train and Edge and Christian. RVD defeated Chavo. Chavo's over. Chavo's way over. Kane defeats Hogan. Ugh. Bowling shoe ugly that'd be in 2005. John Cena and The Undertaker defeated the Buccaneers, Kurt Angle and Goldust. The tag team I never knew I wanted to see, the Buccaneers. Oh, I hope they fully commit and come down in pirate gear. I really do. Cena and The Undertaker. I can't even imagine that clash of... those two would be all right as a tag team. Take that. Does this mean Cena's lost the belt, though? Benoit over Regal. Jericho defeats Ric Flair to retain the world... Oh, he's the big gold belt. Wow, Jericho's made the switch. And that's it. We don't have the ever title. Must still be on Cena. I don't mind that. SummerSlam is based off these crazy giant tag team championships. Funaki still the cruiserweight. The women's champion is still... No, we're not going to go there. We're Intercontinental champion. Tommy Dreamer. What? In 2005, Tommy Dreamer is your Intercontinental champion. All right. Molly Holly. Does she continue not to defend the title? She continues not to defend the title. She's got a Moolah reign. Moolah Molly Holly is happening. As I was saying, you got any ideas for future? I saw someone suggest, what if Shawn and Brett swapped up? I think it's a really good idea. I think that's one which I'm going to bounce between TEW and something a bit more visual. So we'll see how that goes, where we head with that. But yeah, so the Cruiserweight champion, we've already talked about that. The Intercontinental, you going to show me Tommy Dreamer again past me? No, we're not. United States, Billy Gunn. Love that. Love that. Oh, Billy Gunn at this time? 18 years ago? I can't be really saying 18 years ago. Wow. I remember this era. Chris Jericho. It was Hang on, it was vacated. I've missed that. Eddie Guerrero beat John Cena. Week 3 of October. But it was vacated. Brock Lesnar. Is he still with the WWE? I think I've just picked up on that. I'm going to go look for Brock Lesnar now, I think. Roster. Where's Brock? And I don't see Brock. Brock is gone. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm trying to find Brock Lesnar in a search of companies. That's not going to work. Here we are, workers. Let's see if we can find him. Brock Lesnar, unemployed, released by WWE. What has Brock done? In July, everything was going tickety-boo. Undertaker and Rob Van Dam defeated the Block. The Block. Lesnar and Regal. Quite like that. Oh, my word, he's been released. There's a scandal. He's been released. What's the scandal? Drug smuggling. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. The events of this game are clearly fictitious and do not represent those of the actual participants. Wow. So imagine if they hadn't, they elevated to Goldberg's retired from wrestling. So Goldberg's retired. Shawn Michaels is AWOL. I don't think past me. Did he get brought up previously? Because it says that Goldberg's off to make movies. I think Shawn Michaels is off to make movies as well. So Goldberg's gone. Yeah, right after WrestleMania, he left. So Goldberg's gone, out of the business. Shawn Michaels gone from WWE. Brock Lesnar gone, out of WWE. Steve Austin, however, has stuck on. So here's an interesting, but he's just being used sparingly. He's just and he hasn't been used since April. Interesting. He's got an Undertaker role at 40 years of age. And I don't think you need Austin on his every week guy. Have him come in, have him pop a buy right. That's all you need. Who are we looking for here? World Wrestling Entertainment. We're looking for the roster. Cena is mentioned as a major star on the key personnel, which he should be. I mean, he was a world champion by this point. Batista, still low 50s. Batista still getting regular run on. He's bouncing between Raw and Heat. But it's all part of this stupid tag team he's a part of. I hope this ends. I mean, right now, Batista needs to turn on Boss Man. That's what do you have with Batista? We need to find this out. Mark Jindrak hit the low 40s, which is it's progress. Okay, can't deny that. And regular matches. Hey, beat B squared again. Let me know your favorite B squared match in the comments. Yeah, he's got a heck of a run with. That's the feud that's lighting up Raw and Heat. But he's jobbing to Rikishi. He's jobbing to Crash Holly. That's when you know things are going well. Mark Jindrak and Two Aces defeat Scotty Too Hottie. Two Aces is Boss Man and Batista. We got Jindrak and Batista wrestling in the same match. Worlds are colliding. Underwhelming worlds are colliding. So what's this going to mean for us? I mean, our next step is going to be the Rumble. The Rumble before WrestleMania 22. Apparently, we're going to stop and do that. Would make sense, actually, stop here and take a look first at the PWI and all the awards. Wrestler of the Year is Kurt Angle. WWE, Company of the Year, makes sense. Tag Team of the Year, Edge and Christian. First time they ever won the award. That seems surprising. Match of the Year, Undertaker defeating William Regal. There's a few of those that we saw, and I'm not surprised by that. Show of the Year, WrestleMania, right? Judgment Day in May. Interesting stuff. Young Wrestler of the Year. Amazing Red. Yeah, WWE's not treating their young wrestlers well, so I'm not surprised to see it go outside. Veteran Wrestler. Rico Constantino. Is that plus 40, I guess, if you're a veteran wrestler. Female Wrestler of the Year. It's got to be outside the Fed. It's got to be outside the Fed. They don't do anything with their female wrestlers. I mean, they get on the card in sort of these storylines, one would assume, but there's no... The title is pointless, and it goes to Lita. All right. Match quality, I guess. Most Improved Company, Ring of Honor, Independent Wrestler, something to keep an eye on. Gregory Helms. Huh. So he's been released or made his way elsewhere at this point. Interesting. Oh, past me was going, what's going on here? And he was there until April 2003, so just after WrestleMania 19. And he's gone elsewhere since then, so there we are. Seems strange you don't hang on to, other people they've hung on to. Manager of the Year, Ric Flair. 56 in 2006. Announcer of the Year, Michael Cole. Oh, man, did we all just get swayed into hating on Michael Cole for some reason? Was it just because he wasn't Jim Ross? I didn't like Jim Ross. But, man, people always ragged on him, and then he had the whole Cole in the box thing, which happened afterwards. Cole's good. I'm not with what's his name? Oh, that's gonna bother me. Anyway, whoever thinks he's greatest of all time, I don't think he's that, but still. Sting has made it into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, is what I'm calling the Hall of Immortals. Shawn Michaels is frustrated. 6 months since he last worked a wrestling show. Well, it's because you left the business. Yeah, there it is. Left to go film a TV role. He's left WWE. He's I mean, I don't know what you want. Left WWE the day after WrestleMania. Yeah, he's doing a TV show. So that's not gonna, well, theoretically, it's different from film, isn't it? Different from film. So where are we at here? If you like films, while you're here, you like these dulcet tones coming at you, get on your podcast catching device and check out a podcast called Best Film Ever. It's Best Film Ever. You'll hear a whole lot of this, plus some of my friends talking about the films that we love. There's a different focus film every week. Go ahead, check us out. Who knows? You might hear us talk about Shawn Michaels one day. You probably won't, but just a thought. All right, where are we off to now? Come on, past me. What are we doing? I'm going to talk about, let's go back to the companies for a minute. Let's look at WWE, see what they're doing. Here's our key individuals. I'm looking for any of our big names here. I don't see them. I mean, obviously, we got Triple H and Ric Flair at the top of the list. I'm looking for the young guys. Where do they jump in? It's a long way down. Wow, Randy Orton under Daphne. Batista and Mark Jindrak, I don't think we're there. Jeff Hardy's been hired. I didn't realize he'd left. So, Jeff Hardy's been hired. Daphne extends deal. So, where are we off to now? Triple H, major star. Chris Jericho, major star. John Cena, major star. No one kind of the face of the franchise. Two aces exist. Evolution exists. 53 for experience. Oh, it's depressing me. They're getting strong like that. It has been 2.5 years. Two aces, experience 23. So, I mean, you know, props to Jindrak and Orton. I mean, they're feeling each other. I mean, it's time to end this Batista boss man thing. I keep saying it. Cruiserweight champion, Matt Hardy. I like Matt Hardy as cruiserweight champion. I thought it was a fun time around WrestleMania 19. I might argue in WWE it never felt more over, even if it was a heavyweight guy with the belt. Molly Holly still doing the Moolah reign, I think. Chavo Guerrero, now the IC champ. Billy Gunn, still the U.S. champion. Good to see. He's had it since November, so he's had a heck of a run so far. RVD and Kane, after blowing up, they found a way to get back together. They beat Edge and Christian, who held the belt for, I don't know, one defense. But, hey, that's your tag team of the year, Edge and Christian I'm talking about. Shane McMahon and Matt Hardy are your WWE tag team titles. That's weird. We still have Eddie Guerrero as that champion. We still have, Chris Jericho. Oh, yeah, we still have Chris Jericho with the big gold belt. So, there we are. We've got our sort of layout. Love Guerrero getting his shot in this alternate timeline. I think it's fantastic. It's not really going to be a hot take if I say how much I liked Eddie Guerrero. I don't think. So, apparently I went back to look at him and see what's gone on here. It is his first reign with the belt. I believe that sounds right. Yeah. One successful defense. Yeah, it's all right. I'm just looking to see if there's any embarrassing names on the list. It doesn't look like there was. Are we stopping by TNA? We're stopping by TNA. Who's here? Let's go Secretary Ryan, Lance Storm, Kurt Hennig. We're just looking for, they're putting on lots of shows, I guess. What am I looking for? Scandal. Oh, extreme bullying in the office at TNA. So there we go. Don West leaves. So Don West is out there. It also means they've taken a hit because Don West is a heck of a voice. I don't know what you're going to do. I'm still looking to see if there's any names I want to know. There's Gregory Helms. Yep. There's R-Truth. There's Road Dogg. So a certain type of former WWE wrestlers making their way over here. But it's just a certain type. The TNA World Champion is Scott Steiner. Holler if you hear me. They're tag team champions. Low-Key and Elix Skipper. Apparently I had something else I wanted to say. Gregory Helms used to be their world champion. Look at that. Low-Key and Elix Skipper, who are like 8-time champs or something like that. And Lance Storm is the X Division champion. That could be fun, contrasting his more, I'll say, methodical demeanor against the others. Jeff Jarrett is in Ring of Honor. Wow. I'm looking where else. There's Bryan Danielson, a young Bryan Danielson, cutting his teeth. Paul London, I see on the list. So there's some there. Kevin Sullivan, what's he doing? He's just a major star? Okay. Nothing else really jumping out at me. Samoa Joe's down there. Danielson is the Ring of Honor champion. The pure title goes to Stevie Richards. Heck of a worker. Go check his YouTube stuff out. It's good stuff. And the Maximo brothers are I'm assuming they're brothers. They look brotherly. Are your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. I'm not as up with my early 2000s Ring of Honor roster. I can talk with some. Like I see the Briscoe boys. I see BJ Whitmer, who I have a sort of working knowledge of. Oh, I'm going to OVW. Go check out Wrestlers on Netflix. Tell them the Smart Mark Time Machine sent you. Gail Kim, biggest star on the roster, it looks like. We've also got AJ Styles, Shark Boy, CM Punk. Whatever happened to that guy? OVW, if you're looking at their bank balance, they're in trouble. It would not surprise me if they weren't here in 2007 at this rate. Mickey James. And this is the sad part, because these guys need reps. And so what I've seen in other games is that if the young guys don't get reps, they never rise up with enough momentum to topple the big guys. So you lose a generation. You'll remember in our Magnum TA video, Cena and Orton, and they never became a thing. Well, it wasn't Cena and Orton, sorry. It was Austin doesn't really become a thing. That sort of Attitude Era level star never rises up because we saw a shrink in the number of promotions available, which meant there's only so many spots, which meant there's no need to build new top guys. So, yeah, that's a downfall. That's a pitfall. That's a thing that can happen. So, yeah, maybe I'm moving the cursor. So this is the game here. I'm trying to play. How long can I keep the cursor going for? Let's take a look here. Why am I looking at the OVW titles? I don't know. But Damaja, who I believe is one of the Basham boys, with the OVW heavyweight champion, Evan Courageous, and Eric Angle as your tag team champions. Your TV champion, AJ Styles. And the women's champion, Judith Jericho. I imagine no relation. And this is while OVW is still, I believe, WWE's developmental promotion. I believe. I don't know. It says in the write-up there it is. Oh, it says they're owned by WWE. There we are. So that's all right. Oh, why am I going to PWG? Man, I was really going thorough. Maybe because it's the end of the year. Taking a look, Ricky Steamboat is a major star. Excalibur. There we go. Wasn't really familiar with his wrestling before he did AEW. But there is that. Let's look at the Power 500, see if there's any names here. We got Angle, we got Benoit, Triple H, Undertaker at 4, Jericho 5, Booker T 6, William Regal 7, John Cena 8, Kane 9, RVD at 10. We got Guerrero at 11. Tommy Dreamer at 16 is remarkable. While past me is looking at other things, I'm just scanning here. Randy Orton at 19. Randy Orton is on the verge of becoming a thing. How long till past me sees this? There it is. So, yeah, he's involved with Rob Van Dam. That's good. Jeff Hardy at 20. Adam Copeland, Edge at 22. Christian at 23. That's quite nice, isn't it? Matt Hardy 26. Amy Lita at 27. Part of the timeline we're in, I think that's still nice. No, it's not. It's not nice. Hang on. It is nice. Oh, I forget what time that all happened. The Shawn Michaels at 33, despite not being employed currently. Down from number 6. Yeah, Not Wrestling will do that. Not Wrestling for a year will do that. Nathan Jones at 42. Where were we? 60 was around the spot we saw them last time. I think Batista's gone down. Yes, he has. 65 from 60. Oh, he needs to get out of that tag team. And then Mark Jindrak down from 53. So they're both kind of just sort of treading water. As you would. And probably because they're stuck on this 6-man program together. against Rico, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhino. Oh, man. I don't know what to do. It's going to light a fire. You almost wish for Jindrak, and I don't want Batista to happen, but you almost kind of wish they get cut loose and maybe they can find something. But I just said all the reasons why that might not be a good idea. So as someone who's rooting for every member of the Evolution storyline, especially the displaced Batista, I really want there to be something. But back to WWE. And me putting my cursor over the main headings that are available. We take a look, and definitely not size. They're a very big company, we've decided. The roster in general, and who am I looking for here? I'm looking for Jeff Hardy, apparently. And yeah, look at him. He's over 70s. He's broken up with someone. Well, there we go. And then he left WWE, was on a bad run before being rehired by WWE. So he's over like a rover. Jeff Hardy always is. Where do you land on Jeff Hardy? I'm kind of done. It just feels like it's a movie I've seen before. Chilly momentum for Mark Jindrak. I think he's going down. I think he was in his Batista mid-50s. Experience, that's literally stayed the same. That's the one advantage. I didn't pay attention to the number last time. It stayed the same. So will they continue to move up? I don't know. Hey, 3-minute warning still a thing. I like that. Looking elsewhere. Dudley's the Hollies, Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo. Maven and Al Snow. Maven, he's doing some good stuff on YouTube. Go check him out. A really interesting one about wrestlers who didn't like him. Probably the best thing he's done so far. Or he does talk quite honestly about the amount of money he made as a champion. So that's something. You get to know a little bit more about sort of that side of it and where you land and going, what would it actually be like? Because I think if we're all doing stuff like this, we've all got some sort of unfulfilled childhood or adolescent wish fulfillment about wanting to be on that road. So yeah, let's see kind of where I went there. I was going to let it just sort of play and just do it. So that's going to be the place where we are going to leave things in this episode. Randy Orton clearly on the upswing. Ric Flair and Triple H have left Evolution far behind. Jindrak and Batista both need to make something happen, or else they're going to get past the other side. Batista's got talent, but age isn't on his side. Jindrak's got youth, but he doesn't. I think we're starting to see he doesn't have it. So, as I said earlier, Evolution is a mystery. It's starting to look more like Evolution is a fallacy. We'll find out next time as we go through the next year in our cycle. We're going to go all the way to 2007 next time. But until that time, my name's been Ian. This is the Smart Mark Time Machine. We'll catch you next time.